Alright, the popular joke that 3 new JavaScript frameworks are released every second is pretty much true. So if you're a web developer and you get blasted every day with new technologies everybody wants you to try, your best choice is to simply choose one tech stack and stick to it for as long as possible. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video, my tech stack that I'm going to use in 2025 and beyond. So let's start with the front end. We have few options here. First of all, we need to choose the language, then the framework, and lastly, how we are going to style all of our components. So I'm only taking as an option for now JavaScript or TypeScript, and I think the choice is very simple here. TypeScript is the best option. I've had multiple moments when it saved me from hours of debugging because the app just didn't start when I had a mistake, and I was easily able to make fixes and not have to try and find out what's wrong because of how JavaScript handles all of the types. So that's what I'm going to choose, and that's what I've been using for now. And the front-end framework, Svelte 5 is coming up, and it's so similar to React that it's a hard choice for me because I loved how simple Svelte was, and the reactive state, for example, and now it's all come down to runes, and I'm going to show them to you right now. As you can see here, we have the comparison between Svelte 4 and Svelte 5, and it's much less readable. You have to get used to the runes way of doing everything. So this is how we manage state, and this is how you can update it. It's almost the same, so that's good. But when you have to compute something, you get another rune which is derived instead of this simple $sign. I much prefer this. And I've also put React here for comparison. I really like this web page. It's called Component Party. And you can select any framework you want and compare them. So it's becoming similar to React now. And I was honestly at one point considering even switching to React because you get all these awesome, for example, a Stern UI, you get these awesome web libraries, UI libraries, and whoops, not this one, browse components. As you can see, for example, you can just paste this into your React page, and that's one of many cool things that you can find. And also React is the most popular one, so of course there is the most amount of resources for it. But because I like the simplicity of Svelte, I'm gonna try and stick with it. If I don't like the 5 version, maybe then I'll consider React, or we'll see. So I think I am going to choose Svelte for now, but I'm going to consider other frameworks such as React. I'll keep them in mind. And for the styling, I think Daisy UI is the very popular and simple UI library, and it has worked well with my project. So we get all these buttons, and there are some other cool stuff. It's not as mind-blowing as this one, for example, Eternity, but still it does the job, and I can always add some custom styling later. So that's it for the front end. So I've had a lot of experience with front end, and now let's talk about backend. And I made this small helper thing right here because we need to talk about what I need. I need it to be simple, and I don't want to learn some new concepts that are unfamiliar to me, because I want to build apps on the site and try to launch them as fast as possible. So definitely those two things are required. And yeah, I have a few choices here. So I'm currently using SvelteKit, which is basically like a meta framework. You can write your backend in TypeScript, and it's in the same project as your frontend code. But I've been using the database with SvelteKit, the Firebase database, Firestore, and I think this was a big mistake because I got logged into the Google Cloud, and people have been telling me this when I launched my video about boilerplate for SaaS. And now, during the development process, I was like, guys, you're so stupid. This is like so developer friendly. You can build everything really fast. But when it came to deployment, then all the troubles began. So Firebase is going to be the last choice, I think. I've got some few candidates here. So I included Next if I ever wanted to switch to React, but it works very similarly to SvelteKit. You basically write your backend in TypeScript or JavaScript. And yeah, I've also included Python because I had a lot of experience with Python in the previous years. I built a full stack app with Flask, which is a library for Python, and I use Postgres with that. And yeah, it turned out really well. So I was thinking about this too, but there is also this thing called Supabase, and Supabase is basically an alternative to Firebase, and that's what everybody was recommending to me when I was talking about that boilerplate. And I think I'm going to give it a try. And I also like MongoDB because it's a document-based database and not SQL one. But judging by the fact that I'm going to have a lot of SQL knowledge passed on during my computer science degree, I think I'm going to go with an SQL database. So I'm going to put Supabase right here, and because I'm using Svelte, I'm also going to put SvelteKit right here, and Firebase is going to remain here. Now, for the APIs, there are a few things I need. First of all, I'm working on an app with AI, and I tried to use Google Gemini because of Firebase, but it had such poor documentations that I changed my mind, and I'm using OpenAI because it has the best docs, and yeah, it's been easy to work with. Now you're probably wondering what this R is, and it's not a Revolut or anything like that. It's actually Recent, and Recent is a cool email service. Can I get to the main website, please? Okay, we're here. So this is email for developers, and first of all, just look at this animation. It's so cool, and when I saw that, I was like, wow, I need to sign up for this. So this is a very easy to integrate email. You have all these setups right here, and I just was able to send an email in like less than a few hours because of the domain propagation time. And yeah, the setup was a bit tricky because I'm a newbie at this, so I didn't know how to connect the domains and all of that. But if you've been doing this for some time and you know how to quickly connect all of that stuff, then you are going to be more than fine with this. And it has really good docs for every platform, and you have some examples too. So I really recommend this. I've seen people have some trouble with Mailgun, so I chose recent, and that's going to be in my API tech stack. And also the most obvious one, well, Stripe. Why is it below? So Stripe is also going to be on my tech stack because it's the easiest way to handle payments, and yeah, I don't think there is much competition here. Now, the last part, which is hosting, and there is also many options here. I try to use Firebase, but the thing is, the Firebase hosting for web frameworks like Svelte is experimental, and there's not pretty much you can see about your deployment, as opposed to Vercel, which has a really pleasurable interface. And that's what I'm using right now. There's also an option for Cloudflare and DigitalOcean, which are cloud provider or a VPS provider. And that's what everyone is on Twitter saying, that stop overpaying for your cloud, just set up a VPS and you'll be saving thousands of dollars. But the thing is, why would I even want to set up a VPS if my product has like only a few users and I can fit into the free plan of a cloud provider like Vercel or Cloudflare? So I'm choosing Vercel for now because a VPS doesn't make sense if I don't have a huge user base. This will be a consideration in the future, and you might be thinking, why don't you choose Cloudflare? Well, it has a trouble with Firebase, and my current only app is written with Firebase, and I can't deploy it to Cloudflare if I want to use the Firebase admin SDK, which is a huge bummer because Cloudflare has like one of the best limits for free projects. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to use Vercel, but I don't think that's a huge deal because Vercel has an amazing developer experience. And regarding the pricing, I think if I do some enough research to not get a huge bill, I will be fine. So let's quickly also go back to APIs because I forgot to talk a bit about this thing right here, which is Claude from Anthropic. And it is really good when it comes to coding, but when it comes to other tasks like generating text or just other questions you ask it, ChatGPT performs better, I think. And the API was easier to set up. I already had it, so I naturally went with ChatGPT. So that is the tech stack that I'm going to use in 2025. Feel free to discuss and roast me in the comments that I've made some another bad choices. I hope I won't have to change it anytime soon. In the future, I might be considering other technologies, like maybe a VPS, or maybe I'll style my backends in more of the front-end backend and the API separately, so the free like stage option. But for now, I'm going to go with this. I think it's a good tech stack if you want to launch things quickly, and that's what I'm aiming for. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.